Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most important and useful topic in Java, exception handling, and more specifically, custom exceptions. Before we jump into it, if this is your first time watching my videos, please like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this under the programming language Java. So let's continue. When we write a program, error can happen. A user may enter the wrong value, a file may not be found, or a number may be out of range. If we do not handle these errors properly, the program may stop unexpectedly. That is why Java provides exception handling, and it helps us deal with error in a control way so that the program does not crash immediately. The most common way to handle exceptions in Java is using the try and catch block, and I think the that's the way it is used in most programming language, like even JavaScript, the same thing, even C++ and the other programming languages. I think they also use try and catch block. So the try block contains the code that may cause an error, and the catch block handles the error if it happens. So if something goes wrong inside the try block, Java jumps to the catch block and lets the program continue safely. For example, if we try to divide a number by 0, with all that it will return an error. Java will throw an exception. Instead of letting the program stop, we can catch the error and show a useful message to the user. Now let's talk about custom exception. A custom exception is an exception that we create ourselves. Java already gives us built-in exception like arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, and array index out of bounds exception. But sometimes those are too general for our need. For example, imagine you are building a banking application. If someone tries to withdraw more money than they have, a normal exception message may not be enough. In that case, you can create your own exception like insufficient balance exception. So we are first going to talk about the basic try and catch exception. We're going to create a file here, our source directory, exception. Okay, the file is created. We don't forget our schema for Java, public static void. Oh shit. Public static void main. Sorry, public static void main, and this is where you are going to write our code. So we are going to start with the try block. And as you can see, directly the codes know that when you are using a try, we must necessarily have a catch block. That's why when you use the try function without using the catch without catching the catch down, it will first return an error. So you have to write a catch here. Okay. In our try block, we are going to initialize a variable, maybe int num equals to 10. Now int result equals to num divided by 0. See, the for you underline it, division by 0. Even the code editor itself knows that it is forbidden. It is forbidden for it to go like that. System.out println result equals to the result we have up here. Okay, Now in our cache block, we are going to use the arithmetic exception. So arithmetic exception is already proposed with a small variable e. You can put what you want there, it will still work. Now here you are going to display system.out dot println error division by 0 is not possible. And don't forget, after the cache block of return the error message, your code can still continue running. System.out oh shit system.out.println program continues. Yes. Right, so we are going to run this code to see what will happen. So as you can see, this is the error division by 0 is not possible, and your code continues running because the cache block has already done his own part of the work, like returning the error message. So the try will contain the risky code, and like dividing by 0 causes an error, and the cache block handles it and stop the program from caching. Stop the program from caching by letting it continue running. Like as you can see, after the cache block, it still prints this statement: program continues running. So let's try replacing this normally like by 1. Run it again. See, result is 10, and your program still continues running. So we are going to pass to custom exception exception, the one you create yourself. You're going to create an exception for each invalid each. Let's say yes, invalid each. So class invalid age exception extends the exception class, the built-in exception class from Java, and here you have public public or public invalid. This is like this is a constructor. Remember, the constructor always have the same name like the class constructor. And even this string message, it's a built-in uh, variable for exception handling. Here we are going to override the exception with our own message that we are going to print after. Okay, as you can see, even without uh, without defining the attribute string in our class before defining the constructor, it didn't return any error because this message here is an inbuilt attribute for exception handling. So now we are going to enter in our exception in our public class, in our main class, and write some code to see how the custom exception handling can be used. So first going to delete all this. Public static public public sorry public static void. Now we are not going to use main, or we are not going to use main. First of all, I'm first going to, but let me not just delete it. I'm first going to declare a class that will check the age using the invalid age exception. So public, why am I writing public static void check age? Oh, check age, and it takes that attribute one int age. Here we're going to use the exception, invalid age exception. So we're going to throw an exception if the age is less than 18, less than 18. Throw invalid, oh sorry, throw invalid exception. Open like it always says if, like if the age is less than 18, throw the new, that like a new exception, invalid exception. Age must be above, like age must be above 18, or your age is less than 18, something like that. Age must be above 18, above 18 or 18. Yes, because we use less than, not less than, or equals to, something like that. No, must be, let's just allow it like that, and continue. That's not the focal point for today. After this, else else system.out print ln what, system.out print ln access is granted, or maybe you have the correct age, something like that. What you want, you can just put something like that. Access granted. You go to the next function. Now we will enter our main function, the void main, and this is where we are going to run our sample of code. We are still going to use our try block, check age, like let's say 16, and catch invalid e system. Let me just copy from here and we change the message. Let's say my custom exception. Sorry for the noise. My neighbor is coming back from work. Plus, hope you will still remember the meaning of that plus. Plus message. Oh sorry, get message. Plus get message. Why is it underlining it? Is never thrown in the corresponding try block. Delete the invalid. Why is it like that? Invalid exception. Why is it written an error? Exception invalid is never thrown in the corresponding try block. Well, let's try deleting it. The cache block. I now understand why. Because here we have already done all the check. So everything will work from this. Here was the problem. Expected what? How can you put a semicolon when you're still going to write some code? No, that's normal. What's the problem even here? What's the problem here? Uh, ah, unhandled exception. But this is it I wrote. Ah, no, I cannot see the error I made. Can I see the error I made? Oh, what? Oh, at exception. But what I wrote first was correct. I don't know why. Oh, so okay, let's run it to see how it will behave. So what are you expecting here? Somebody can guess it. Okay, that's it. Exception in treatment, invalid age exception. Age must be above 18 or 18. And I will indicating where the error comes from. At exception, the name of the function check age, line 16, line 12. Go to line 12. Yes, that's why the error was being displayed. And where the function is called in our main exception.java in the main line 20. That's it. So that's all for custom exception handling. So custom exception helps us create specific and meaningful error messages together. They make Java program more reliable, readable, and user friendly. If you want to build better Java projects, learning custom exception is a very important step. Thanks for watching. Custom exception help us handle errors in a smarter and more meaningful way. See you in the next video.